to watch some comedians play some games, all hosted by some bloke called James. It's more entertaining than it sounds. It's time for a board game Smackdown. Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Board Game Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen, the show on the internet where comedians play board games for some reason. My name's James, I like games, and I was just enjoying this book by me that now exists in the real world. There you go, 101 board games to play before you, picture of a dice. It's a clever joke. And the book is ram-packed with clever jokes like that, all about board games. It's me writing about 101 different board games. Can you believe it? From, Monopoly and Mousetrap and Twister to Catan and Carcassonne and whatnot. And it is available now from there, 101boardgames.com, if you want to get yourself one of them. All right, start with an advert, because then it's done and we can all move on. We've got a fun game to play today. In theory, it's a fun game. But the important thing is that in theory and in practice, we have an amazing panel. So I'm going to introduce those to the stream right now. So please welcome Michael Fabbri, Sid Singh, Louise, Leigh, and JJ Whitehead. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, panel. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming to play. Have any of you been playing any games recently, even if it's within the last 10 years?
I was home with family recently, and I had to play the family version of Cards Against Humanity.
Okay.
Is that the one where
and a bit of categories as well.
Is that the one where you take almost all the filth out, but then you accidentally leave in something really horrific?
It was all pretty clean, other than some fart and poo jokes. Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest, that sounds better than the regular version.
Right.
To me.
Yeah. I can understand why they needed to keep it out of the hands of children.
Yeah. We played a really aggressive game of Double the other night.
Oh God, Double is just it's a game that children can play really well, adults not so much.
So terrible. Yeah. It's really difficult.
It's spotting different pictures on cards, and each one has got each card has one picture in common with each other card, and you will just stare at two cards for ages going, well, there isn't one. There isn't one on this one.
Will say pencil.
It's always the pencil, isn't it?
I attempted to play Paw Patrol Ludo with my 5-year-old yesterday.
Oh no! Why?
And she insisted she knew the rules. She didn't. She was explaining to me. I was saying that was wrong. She started shouting at me. We both ended up crying. It was awful. I hate playing games with her. She's
all right. You got the family board game tradition started early.
5-year-olds are literally the worst humans.
Ludo is the worst of the worst games, as detailed in my book. I go on about it at some length about how
have you written a book, James?
Written a book about board games.
God, you should talk about it sometimes.
I say Ludo is a lesson in how the cold and indifferent universe wants to laugh in your face forever. It's the worst.
Is it annoying because to play, or you just dislike it? It's a boring game.
Well, you roll a dice and then you move a piece, and then someone comes along and says, "Now do it again."
Yeah,
and you just and it's why would you do that? It doesn't have fun.
Is that the one?
Anyone who thinks that is a fun game thinks
around the outside of like that.
Yeah, and then you have to try and get in the middle. Yeah. Anyone who thinks that is a fun game presumably thinks Sisyphus is a rom-com.
They've been taken in there by the
highbrow,
Latin, of course, haven't they? The people.
Yeah. We can say hello to some people who are watching. We can say hello to Matt is watching. Good evening, Matt. Karen is watching as well. Our good friend Baldy sends us some. It's applause emojis. They're nice. Always nice to see. And he also Baldy says Cards Against Poo Manatee. In reference to that. If you're watching on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube, you can leave comments and we can get them up on the screen if you want to join in with the game. The game we're playing today is That's a Question.
Okay.
Designed by Vlada Chvartl.
They've missed an opportunity there to have a question mark and call it That's a Question?
No, it's not, isn't it? It's not a question. It's an exclamation.
Finally, that's a question.
Oh yeah.
Now, Vlada Chvátil designed the game Codenames, which was a huge success, won the Game of the Year award, and sold millions of copies. And then this was the follow-up game where the games company clearly just didn't check it, and he could do whatever he wants.
So this is his Bruno.
Yeah, this is difficult follow-up game.
Album. Yeah.
As you can see there, it's got a picture of a squirrel on the front who is offering a red pill or a blue pill to presumably join the squirrel version of QAnon.
Yeah. I thought it was a Squid Game marble reference.
Yes. Joe, I've only watched the first one.
Okay.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Well, here's a spoiler. The squirrel's an incel.
Yes, he is. Look at his eyes as well. He's got one red eye, one blue eye. He's like David Bowie in that respect of squirrels. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with actual squirrels. It's a game all about second-guessing each other's answers to difficult choice questions. And when we said it was nothing to do with squirrels, Sid left. Oh, he's getting a drink. That's fine.
I'm a big squirrel fan. You can't talk about the squirrel incels like that.
Yeah. So how the game works is you're going to try and score points by second guessing each other's answers to choice questions. But here's the twist: one of you is going to be setting the question in each round for one of the other players. The person who sets the question scores points if people get the answer wrong. So it's in their interest to make the question as hard as possible. Okay. So, Michael, you're in first player position on the screen. And Sid, you're in second player. So what we're going to do in the first round, and the best way to learn the rules is by playing it, is Michael, you're going to be setting the question. And Sid, you're going to be answering it. Okay. But Sid, don't answer it straight away because Louise and JJ are going to be trying to figure out what your answer is. Also, poker faces, don't give anything away. Okay. The three types of question there are in the game. There are green questions, which are what would you miss? Blue questions, which are which would you choose? And red questions, which is who is worse? So, Michael, what kind of question would you like?
Let's go for which would you choose?
Let's go with which would you choose. All right. So what I'm going to do, Michael, is I'm going to send you your hand of cards via the magic of the internet. I'm going to send you 5 things, and you're going to choose 2 of them to give as the choices for Sid. Okay. There you go. I've sent it. There you go. There's the ping.
Okay.
So this is a blue question. Which would you choose? Feel free to go through the list if you want. They're not a secret because you're going to pick 2 of them.
Oh, I see. I've got to pick 2 of them. Okay. So it's to be the world's most respected fashion designer, to have perfect public speaking skills, to create...
It's ironic that you tripped over your words saying that one.
Yeah. To create AI, to be the fastest runner in the world, to be able to see into the past. So let's go with to be able to see into the past or to create AI.
Okay, so that's your choice. Which would you choose? Would you choose to create AI or to be able to see into the past? So A for AI, B for to see into the past. Sid.
So you're going to be clear, it's A for AI and B for past.
The past, yes, indeed. And we will get into your reasoning after we've revealed the answer. So you got to choose either A or B. So please write down your answer, but do not reveal it yet, because JJ and Louise, what I want you to do is I also want you to write down what you think Sid would say.
So I write my own answer and what Sid would say.
No, just what you think Sid would say. Do you think he wants to create AI, or do you think he wants to be able to see into the past?
So basically, this game is the honeymooners without the relationship before part.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Tell me about yourself.
Like the Mr. and Mrs. I believe that game was called in the UK.
That's right. Yeah.
Hosted by Derek Beatty.
He's terribly
Just a
unhappy in his marriage.
Was he?
I have no idea.
I love nice bit of gossip though. All right. So Louise, what have you put?
Well, now I may have slightly too large a board, so hang on. I've said that one.
You've said A, so you think Sid would like to create AI.
Yes.
JJ, what have you put, please?
I've also put A.
Okay, so they both think you say AI. Now, Michael's going to score points if they've got it wrong. So, Sid, could you please reveal which one
What you guys don't realize is that I recently went through a breakup, and I'm not over her. So the
We're all
answer is,
comedians,
unfortunately,
so.
it's me, everybody!
Okay. Which
me
means
the boyfriend I never get to be again, huh? Okay, too sad.
All right.
So,
which means that Michael scores 2 points for the 2 incorrect answers, and Sid scores a point for getting the answer right because he was answering the question. Incredibly, as far as I can tell, that's what the rules of the game say is supposed to happen at this point.
Yeah, second place, just like I was in our relationship. Am I right? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, of course.
Is, can you not already see into the past because you have a memory?
Yes. Yeah, that is basically, isn't it? That's what that is.
Isn't
it's
it like,
having a memory.
do you want to be able to do a new thing? You've chosen a thing you can already do.
Louise,
Yes.
I miss her. Of course I want to do a thing I used to be able to do all the time.
But you're only going to be able to see the past. It's
I don't want to do a new thing,
just
Louise.
Just flick through your phone, mate. It's,
I'm with
We've all
Louise
got
on this
that.
one.
Doing it as we speak, Louise. I'm doing it as we speak.
All right, but
it means like the Kennedy assassination. So not like one time you were in a coffee shop with like.
That's
But
what
you
you've
can't
chosen.
go to
We
the
were
past.
talking
You can't
about
just
that was
travel
her
to the
thing.
past.
She
You can
loves
see it
coffee.
though.
Yeah, you can see it, but you can see it now. I'm with Louise on this one. I didn't see this
Not
coming.
dinosaurs or like answering the questions of. But Sid isn't
know
even
the real
interested in
answer
that.
He's not. That's the thing. If he was like, "Oh my god, yeah, I want to be able to actually go and see were dinosaurs brightly coloured," or
Yeah.
The real problem for me was that I basically came up with this breakup joke, and then I was like, if I say AI, it'll be like I'm trying to fuck a robot version of her. So no, thank you.
I mean, that's also okay.
Everything's
I was like,
girlfriend
that's
related.
grosser, so I'm gonna pick B just to be less gross.
okay. Well, this is
All right.
interesting stuff here that we could probably use in later rounds when it's Sid's turn again in order to second guess his
Please
answers.
play this clip at my funeral.
Yes. That would
By
be weird,
seeing
wouldn't
into
it?
the past.
Hey, remember when Sid was on that really obscure internet show that's not funny enough to be comedy and too funny to be a nerdy show? We're going to play that at his funeral for some reason.
Welcome to falling between two stools.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see the other candidates. I mean, this is ahead by a mile.
Not at all. Right, we're going to move on to JJ and Louise now. JJ, you're going to be setting the question for Louise in this round. So you can.
Right.
It's your choice is a green. What would you miss? A blue, or which would you choose? And a red. Who is worse? Which kind of question would you like?
Okay, I'll go with which would you choose?
You're going
Well,
blue as
that's
well.
what we just did that.
We just did that. You can do it again.
Right.
That's fine.
Okay, all right. Well, we're doing it again then.
Okay.
Which would you choose?
My blue hat
It's a 50-50.
for this.
Well, I'm about to send you the. I mean, I could just tell you them.
Now,
But-
should we ask Louise? Now, have you been through a bad breakup before you answer this question?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Working on it.
I mean, we're all comedians here.
Okay.
The odds are there's a good. All right, here's my choices I just received from James. So,
Okay.
which will you choose? To create the most amazing comics superheroes ever, to be the video game champion of the world, to win several Olympic gold medals, to be able to see yourself invisible, or to
You can't see yourself invisible.
Oh, sorry, to be able to make yourself invisible.
Mm.
Hey, and then you can choose the powers after that. Maybe you can still see yourself. Anyway, to conclusively prove the existence or non-existence of God.
Okay, so remember, Jason, it's in your interest for Michael and Sid to get it wrong. So you have to try and make the choice as hard as possible for Louise. So which two would you like to choose?
Okay, I'm going to choose between. Would you like to win several gold medals, or create the most amazing comic superheroes ever?
So would you like to win several Olympic gold medals? That's A. Or B, create the most amazing comic superhero ever? All right, so Louise, please write down your answer. And Michael and Sid, you're going to try and second guess which you think she's going for on her massive whiteboard there. Maybe that's a clue. Maybe that whiteboard is perfect for drawing comic superheroes on it. Maybe.
I've forgotten which one was which.
A is to win several
Okay.
Olympic gold medals. That's a vague number, isn't it? Or B, create the most amazing comic superheroes ever. All right.
Right. I'm
So,
going to guess that she's going to go for B.
You think she's going to design the comics superheroes?
Well, I think there's money in that. I mean, what? It's just like you get your gold medals and everyone likes you for 10 minutes and then they forget your name and your skin.
But you get
You
to
know
do
what?
a
I'm gonna
commercial.
piggyback on this because if
You
you
might
think
get a
about it,
commercial. It depends, but if you depends what on your sport.
I'll go further than this. If you want to win the most Olympic gold medals, you probably got to be a swimmer. Nobody wants to be a swimmer. That's stupid. So I think it's clear. I think it's clear. I think it's a clear B.
All right, so they're both going for comic superheroes. Louise, Leigh, what did you put?
No.
Hey!
Right. I'm actually a swimmer.
Oh
Well,
right.
now you know my opinion about you, Louise.
I'm not really. I know I am. I used to be a swimming teacher. But yeah, I just thought about the drugs.
that you'd have to
Yeah.
that you'd have to take.
So I just thought, I mean, there's probably drugs in the superheroes too, but
Plus,
what I
there's
went
just
with.
a lot more to being have athletic prowess. Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Would it be in swimming that you would want to win those medals or
Because
other
if you-
events?
if you want, I
Well,
mean,
see, I disagree with Sid as well. All you gotta do is pick an obscure sport. You don't want to pick swimming. You want to pick something like trampolining or something that's off the
Yeah.
beaten track, so you can notch up all these victories because nobody else is playing.
But isn't that how it works in swimming? Isn't that why Michael Phelps has like the most Olympic gold medals of all time? It's just because he's good at all the different kinds of swimming.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
do different distances. Yeah.
He's got big feet as well.
I have massive feet and huge hands. So I think
Near
I
the
would-
camera.
We've all got big hands if we do that, Louise.
All right,
Massive
look.
ones.
Still massive.
Or a tiny head. We don't know.
We don't know. We'll never know.
We don't know if you're being honest with us.
Keep them back here. Imagine.
Can I
Yeah,
I just
yes.
say to you, Louise, and I hope you take this compliment in the spirit in which it's intended.
Oh,
You with that hat on, you look like one of the flumps. Hey, there's a
Yeah.
reference that JJ and Sid, frankly, aren't going to get, but never mind.
Not-
I've always
not a
wanted to
clue.
be
I-
flump.
I
Totally.
assume a flump is a 10-time Olympic medal winner.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly. It was.
Yes.
I assume a flump is a French Smurf.
Yeah.
Not a million miles away. Sid.
Yeah,
not a
that's
million miles away. Right. Okay. So that means JJ's got 2 points. Louise gets 1. So Michael and JJ in the lead with 2 points each, and Sid and Louise both have 1. But it's early stages. We're going to reverse it now. So now, Sid, you're going to be setting the question for Michael. So what kind of question would you like? We've got the green. What would you miss? We've got the blue. Which would you choose? Which you've done twice. And red. Who is worse? What kind of question would you like, Sid?
Man, both green and red really helped for my breakup. So I'm gonna go with green.
Green. You're going for a what would you miss? So I'm going to send you some things now, Sid, and you're going to choose 2 of them. Gotcha. There we go. All right, I have sent them. There's the bin. Remember,
Okay.
Sid, it's in your interest to make this question as hard as possible for Michael to answer.
All right, Michael, we're gonna pick 2 of these. What would you miss? Touch screens, 20th century music, rainbows, stage plays, airplanes, or a girl who currently lives in Barcelona?
That's not one of the things I
Okay,
sent
fine.
you,
Last
is it,
answer.
Sid? Please do not add extraneous cards.
All I'm saying is C is probably the correct answer. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Please don't refer to her as C.
Oh, no. This is why we broke up.
Because of all the effing and jeffing. So you've got to pick two of those, Sid, for Michael to choose between. You've got to make it as hard as possible.
Okay.
Which everyone's doing a really good job of so far because no one has managed to get the answer right.
Based on your room, I'm going to pick touch screens and stage plays. Because I'll be honest, I don't think any of the other three could fit in your room.
All right. So what would you miss most of all, Michael, if they were to disappear tomorrow? Would it be A, touch screens, or B, stage plays? Touch screens or stage plays? You can only save one. Which would you miss the most if they disappeared tomorrow? So write down your answer, please, Michael, and Louise and JJ will be writing down what they think you're going to put.
I got this one.
Okay, JJ's very confident.
You're screwed, JJ.
Yeah, no.
I'm focusing far too hard just on keeping my hat on.
Is it a hat or is it a tea cozy?
Well, yes. Yeah. I have hands that are the head that is of similar proportions to my hands. So, look, it's massive.
I mean, I've got hats. If you want to get into hats, I can get some hats right now. All right.
Michael's thinking hard on this one.
I know. Have you written something down yet, Michael? Or are you still?
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I've got me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, we went to me.
No, it's all right. We mistook your boredom for intense pondering. JJ, what did you put? What do you think? Do you think he's going to miss A, touchscreens, or B, stage plays?
I think as a man who's raising a young daughter, he would miss touchscreens because it probably helps him babysit her all the time. And who gives a shit about stage plays because he's not going out to them anymore. He's not going to any plays. So he needs that babysitter at home on a touchscreen.
I have also chosen A for Apple products and other makes are available.
Okay. We appear to have lost Sid's internet. Hopefully he's going to be jumping back on any minute now so that we can continue the game. Touchscreen is much more useful for babysitting a child than a stage play. Very very hard to sort of bring in some actors. Could you put on, Equus while my
big production.
Toddlers love Equus.
Yeah.
Guys, you found me.
There you are.
Okay, that didn't fall off.
Okay, so both JJ and Louise have gone for touchscreens. Michael, what is your answer? It is touchscreens.
I went for touchscreens. A stage play would affect me once every 3 to 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
That's about how regular my theatre attendance is.
Yeah. So points for Michael, JJ, and Louise. Nothing for Sid. Never mind.
It's
Sid.
rigged.
It probably is, yes. Louise, it's your turn to set a question for JJ. What would you like? What would you miss? What would you choose? Or who is worse?
Who is worse? Because I haven't worn that hat yet.
Okay, you're going for a who is worse.
Okay, Sid, stay with us. Stay with us.
All right, which is worse? Who is worse? Sorry, who is worse?
Yes.
Oh, no, who's this for, JJ?
Yes, this is for JJ. So it's basically a list of behaviours I'm going to send you. So it's people who do these things.
Brilliant.
Come on, don't be. No, sorry, my computer's playing up. Hang on, it's back now. It's all right. Here we go, and I've sent it. So it's people who do these behaviours. Remember, you want to make it as hard as possible for JJ.
Okay, JJ. Ooh.
The suspense.
I'm not even going to read them out. I'm not even going to. Am I going to read? Because I can't see your faces and read them out.
Well, I need to know who they are.
Yes, we need to know what the two you're choosing.
I'm going to tell you the two that I'm choosing, but I'm not going to go through all of them.
All right.
Okay. Is that allowed or is that not the rule?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to say, who is worse? Is it people who encourage children to smoke or people who believe conspiracy theories? Encouraging children to smoke, that's A.
It's a good mime.
Thanks. Here you go, kids. Come on in. That's A. Believe in conspiracy theories.
That's B.
That's B.
Or are
Okay.
children involved with the B option as well?
I mean, aren't they?
I mean, they
Don't
can
get
be.
vaccinated, love. It gives you the autism or something.
I don't know if this is the right time to mention it, but I just got hired to be the next Marlboro Man. Is that okay?
Good work.
Oh,
work.
good.
Are you going to be dressing like a giant kid's cowboy costume?
Yeah, and let me tell you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot
okay.
of kids to smoke.
So, JJ, have you written your answer down?
I have.
Sid and Michael, have you written down what you think JJ is going to say? Which is does he think is worse? Someone who encourages children to smoke, or someone who believes conspiracy theories? I mean, we've all encountered both types on the comedy circus.
Have you encountered the children to smoke one? I haven't
Well,
encountered
no,
one of
actually,
them in
no.
almost 40 years.
If I may say, as the new Marlboro Man, one of our conspiracies is that people don't want children to smoke. What's wrong with you? Let the kids smoke.
I remember when I first started, I gigged a lot with Nick O'Teen, the villain from the Superman anti-smoking adverts that ran on British television in the 80s.
Oh, what, the real Nick O'Teen?
Yeah, he had a hat that looked
Real
like a
one,
cigarette.
That'd
And
be
he
annoying
go,
on car shares, wouldn't it?
have one, kids. It's easy to give up if you don't like it. And then Superman would show up and go, fucking do one.
Get your fire sticks. Get your fire sticks, kids.
Right, okay, so...
Did you guys have Popeye cigarettes? Did you have Popeye cigarettes in Britain?
No.
No?
Well, the
No.
sweets.
Yeah, the little candy cigarettes.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Those,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you meant
because-
Popeye cigarettes had spinach in them or something.
yeah,
This
these
is
little
a
candy
Popeye
cigarettes
brand.
for kids. But I saw them when I was home in Canada. They renamed them just candy sticks. They're just
Yeah.
Popeye candy sticks now.
Yeah.
They
Still
don't have, they
shaped
used
like
to have a little red
cigarettes.
end on.
Yeah,
They
they
used to have a
still
little
look
red
like
end.
cigarettes. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they have them at both ends now.
And they are delicious.
Mhm.
They are so
And-
tasty.
And you can do this.
Yeah, and I want some right now. But I can't have any. Right, so, Michael, what do you think JJ has put there?
B, I think the conspiracy
Conspiracy
theory.
theories. Okay, and Sid, what do you reckon?
I also think once he asked that question, are kids involved in the second one, that he's going to pick B
Yeah.
because it encompasses both.
Okay, so they're both going B. What's the answer, JJ?
Yeah, I realized my mistake there. I was, of course, I went for B because I feel kids can outgrow cigarette advice. But I thought conspiracy theories, I think, harms people for far longer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the thing is you think you can just believe conspiracy theories socially to start with, you know, or maybe after a meal you'll believe a conspiracy theory with a cup of coffee. But before you know it, you're believing 20 to 30 conspiracy theories a day.
It's out of hand. It's out of hand
Yeah.
with some people.
It's always
The
the one
amount
after you've made love to your wife that you miss the most, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, guys, real quick, if I could just read some copy. Hey, why fight for universal health care if you're not going to get lung cancer first? Cigarettes.
Thank you, Sid. Always,
Paid a lot of money for that.
as you've seen, big fan of adverts on this show. Big fan. Good. So points there for everyone but
Everyone.
on the
Louise,
board.
which means Michael and JJ are still in the joint first place. But we'll play a few more rounds. The game says you play first to 19 points, which seems optimistic, and this game has to finish at some point. So we'll play for a bit, and then we'll stop, and we'll say who the winner is. So we're going to mix it up now. So Michael, now you're going to be choosing for Louise. So what kind of question would you like? We've got the what would you miss, which would you choose, and the who is worse.
Who is worse?
Okay, he's going for a who is worse. I
I'm
thought
not
they'd
going to
be
get to put the
popular.
MAGA hat on for that.
You've got a MAGA hat.
It's not actually MAGA, but it is a red baseball cap.
Okay,
So
it's one of those off-brand ones.
yeah.
So, Mike, I'm sending you the choices. You can talk us through them, or not. You can do a Louise and just say the two you wanted to choose between.
I should have said after, maybe. I don't know what I turned down.
Well, I can reveal what they were. Yeah, people who forget their spouse's birthday.
Well, obviously they're great people.
Okay, I'm going to go for Spreads malicious gossip or makes fun of the less fortunate.
Again, with the people we've encountered on the comedy scene.
Right?
So
I've
A,
cases in mind.
who is worse? A, someone who spreads malicious gossip, or B, someone who makes fun of the less fortunate? Okay, so Louise is going to write down her answer. Sid and JJ are going to second guess what that is.
Very closely related.
Aren't they?
All right. Have you written something down? Louise, you were like pretending to draw.
Not a pinnace. Yes, I have written something.
Okay. All right. So Sid, what do you think Louise has gone for?
Based solely on the motion of her hand as she was drawing. Which I know you were trying to trick me at a certain point, but I'm going to go with B.
You're going with B. So you think
are you?
making fun of the less fortunate. All right. And JJ, what have you gone for?
Unfortunately, I did not see the way which your hand was drawing, and I've chosen A. I've chosen.
Oh,
Okay.
no, our first disagreement.
So that means Michael's guaranteed a point here. But who will be joining him in the points? Will it be Sid or JJ? What did you go for, Louise?
Yeah!
I went for B.
Because malicious gossip is fun.
It is. It is fun.
Looks like I found a secret to this game. Cheating.
I mean, well, if you could work out that that's what she was writing from that kind of thing she was doing.
I was doing
yeah.
that, and I was doing straight lines, and I only made contact on one set of them.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell when your hand was like further apart or closer in.
Right.
Okay. So, JJ, I think you
got me.
You can pick for Sid now. What kind of question would you like? What would you miss? Which would you choose? Or who is worse?
Let's go with what would you miss?
Okay. What would you
I
miss?
know, right?
And I know where you're gonna go with this.
Oh, God.
I have an idea.
You
Does
guys talk
she
about
live
my
in
dead dog.
Barcelona.
Somebody in Barcelona.
I'm
Okay.
joking, you guys. She's not in Barcelona right now.
All right.
Are you tracking her on GPS?
No, we're still friends.
Okay.
So you can still track her then.
Yeah.
You're still
Wow.
friends. I love it
I'm
when you.
friends.
I
I track all my friends.
That sounded really powerful the way you said that too. We're still friends.
We're still friends.
You know, here's your options, buddy. Sorry, I haven't picked two yet. But weddings, dancing, TV, dinosaurs. How can you miss dinosaurs?
I don't know. It's one of the cards in the game.
Past.
It
And
makes
flushing
no.
toilets.
It makes no sense.
Okay, what would you miss, buddy? Between what would you miss? Television, or I'm making this too easy. Take that off the table.
Yeah, we're taking the television off the table.
Yeah. What would you miss? Weddings or dancing?
Weddings or dancing? Which would you miss the most if it
both
went
also.
tomorrow? If they were both made illegal, very much
Or if they
like
had both
If we were in Footloose.
yeah, the town in Footloose.
If we were in the town in Footloose, what would you miss more? And how would you try to get her back? Through a proposal or through an extravagant dance?
A secret barn where me and Kevin Bacon are still allowed to dance our feelings away.
Dance them away. Oh, that's such a man thing to say. Make the feelings go away.
All right. What would you miss? Weddings or dancing? Of course, dancing occurs at weddings. There's a crossover there. Dancing can lead to weddings if you do it right.
Not the way I do it, buddy.
And it can also lead to malicious gossip.
Yes.
Yeah. And
And
Olympic
I've
gold
convinced
medals.
a lot of kids at a lot of weddings to smoke cigarettes. So
All right. So, Michael, what do you think Sid has put there?
I don't know. I'm thinking if either of those things disappeared, it would take me years to even notice. I dislike them both intensely. I'm gonna I don't know. So I don't know, Sid. I'm thinking not a dancer, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Should I? I'm going to say you would miss weddings. I'm going to.
Okay, so you think weddings?
Yeah.
All right. And Louise, what do you think?
I said weddings as well, just because he's doing this bit about the breakup.
Okay, so that's what he would miss if it was made, if they ceased to
and I
exist.
think if
All
you
right.
asked him
So
on another day, he'd like all about the dancing, but today.
And Louise, I want you to know it is just a bit. I am super over her, and it's not a big deal.
she's exactly what someone who was over them would say.
Yeah, of course.
So that's
Yeah.
fine.
This is why he loves
Have you
dancing
phoned her
right
to
now.
tell her today that you're over her? That's the message her now. Tell her.
I will.
So Michael and Louise both say weddings. What is the answer, Sid? What would you miss more, weddings or dancing?
I did do this in part to get a new bit, but I picked weddings.
Hey!
Because, as you know, in Indian culture, weddings are like, I don't know, 40 days long. And I don't know, I would miss, having all that time structured out,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So points there for Michael and Louise and for Sid, which means the
Plus
scores as
open
they...
bars,
What?
weddings, they have open bars. They're the best. Weddings are the best.
Not at Hindu weddings, no? I don't know.
Not the ones you go to, dog.
Oh, I've only ever been to one. They
It's
got
hard to see how a
divorced.
wedding would work without the dancing at the end, though. I just don't. Yeah,
What-
like a
I mean-
conference.
It would be like a conference.
Yeah,
Just ends with heavy drinking.
Yes,
yeah.
this was the first dance tradition at a wedding. I just think it's odd.
Also, if
Yeah.
It's
weddings
just like-
were made illegally and people started dancing not at a wedding, would cops come? Like, we had a suspicion there's a wedding going on before or after this. Like,
So Michael is in the lead now. He's 2 points ahead of everyone else who is tied in second place.
I'm
So-
faltering.
It's close. It's close. Let's. Who asked before? Louise, it's your turn to ask Michael a question. What kind of question would you want? What would you miss? Or which would you choose? Or who is worse?
Let's go for what would you miss, please?
Okay, we're going to go for what would you miss? Okay. No, hang on. I'm trying to pick some good ones. Okay. Louise, your options are coming at you.
What would
For
you
Michael,
miss?
what would you miss? Make it as hard as possible for Michael to answer, because that's your best chance to score some points.
Well, you've got a 5-year-old, so you don't do pleasant walks. So you wouldn't miss that. I'm not going to ask you about that.
Mm.
I'm going to say, so I'm going to tell you the list. It's video games, pleasant walks, the color pink, massages, stand-up comedy. I'm going to bet that as a man with a small child, you rarely get massages. I'm going to say, which would you miss more? Stand-up comedy, or
Which he does for a job. Just
which he does
Yeah.
for a
Point
job.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I see
But what
now,
if?
that's very-
Well, what if that's the reason why she left him?
yeah.
Then,
Okay, sure. Scratch that then. No, who am I asking? I'm asking Michael.
Me.
You're asking Michael, yeah.
oh,
Yeah, no one's
Uh,
left me to.
my bad.
Yet.
My bad.
I'm not going to do
My
stand-up
bad.
comedy. I'm
It's
not going to
not-
do stand-up comedy then. I'm going to go.
Yet.
Damn it, I thought me and Michael had that in common.
Oh, people have left me in the past plenty of times.
Yeah.
Just it's not on the cards right now. I'm assuming. I mean, I could check what she's doing while I'm not looking. Packing the child up.
Right. Okay. Oh God, this is really hard. Okay, I'm going to say, which would you miss? Massages or the color pink?
There you go. There's the choice. Massages or the colour pink.
You may not have a huge relationship with either of them, and that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's his bag hanging on the door back there, though. That's
Yeah.
Peppa Pig bag.
Yeah, that's Fabbri's Peppa Pig bag that he takes everywhere with him.
Yeah, if pink goes, Peppa Pig made illegal.
Oh,
You know when you blush, you've been looking pink.
Just blue or orange.
All right. So, JJ, what do you reckon Michael's going to say here?
okay. I better pick an answer before I'm going to go.
Oh, he hasn't picked it.
Yeah. Okay. I've got one. I've decided.
I'm going to say the color pink. He would miss the
Okay,
most.
he's going to miss the color pink. Sid, what do you think Michael will miss?
Shoot. Okay. I was gonna say massages because it's more likely that massages give him a fleeting amount of pleasure than the color pink does. And I feel like that's, and also I think I have to pick massages because I think if I go with pink, then either we tie or, you know what I mean, there's no chance of advancement. So I'm going to roll the dice with massages.
Okay, he's saying massages. Michael, which would you miss? Massages or the color
Yeah.
pink?
I've gone with A, massages.
Ah,
Yes. Again, I mean, I get massages about as often as I go to the theatre, so 4 to 6 years.
sometimes at the same
They're very
time.
pleasant, whereas I could lose pink. Again, would take years to notice. So
But you have a 5-year-old daughter who.
I
would be
know. I thought
sad,
you'd be
right?
thinking about your poor daughter.
She's not a pink 5-year-old.
Whereas I've met Michael's daughter and I know he doesn't love her. So
she's very girly, pink, and yeah, I'd like to have that removed from her. So yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah.
Yes, come away from the gender stereotypes. Yeah. Oh, I mean, now we've lost
get out of
JJ.
here, JJ.
Yeah, there we go. America has gone offline, guys. Which is a shame because it was going to be his go next. But we can prepare for his go. Oh, he's coming back. Here he is. Hello.
Yeah, I was trying to log in.
You were already logged in.
But I'm not. I'm not in StreamYard, so I can't see the chat.
Oh, okay.
So that's all.
Hey, JJ, no offense, but getting logged out is my thing, so it's kind of hacked now.
Sorry,
Sid-
I'll try not to step on your toes.
Thank you.
Sid, you're going to pick a question for JJ. We've got a what would you miss, a which would you choose, and a who is worse. What do you want to have?
So, JJ, you got who was worse last time, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So I'll go with
Well
three.
remembered, because I can't know. So, agreed. It's another what would you miss. All right, let me find the what would you
What
miss
would
list.
I miss?
All right. You know what? While
Loss.
James is coming up with his question, I'll just ask you a question. What would you miss more? Someone who calms you down when you're super stressed out on tour, you know, it's an easy person to talk to.
Right.
Or B, still her.
Well, I've never met her, so
Same person.
I
know. Hey, who has, you know? You don't know her, JJ. She goes to a different high school.
She's from Canada.
don't you worry, buddy.
Yeah,
Don't you worry, buddy. You haven't met her yet either, so don't you worry yourself, Sid.
I have sent
Listen,
it to you,
The
Sid.
email
but-
seems super real.
No.
I've sent it to you, Sid, but you haven't showed it. There's a tick, but I don't know if it's come through.
Okay. All right.
So you can pick
What
two of these.
would you miss? Romantic evenings, cats, chocolate, washing machines, or role-playing games?
Okay.
So you got to pick two of those, Sid.
That's kind of judged by based on his reaction. Okay.
Make it as
Would
hard
you
as you
miss
can.
chocolate or washing machines?
Right. Okay.
Chocolate or washing machines? Which
All
would he
right.
miss? A, chocolate. B, washing machines. Shame you didn't go for cats. I think it's the animal rather than the terrible, terrible film.
Would
I
you
couldn't
say
take that
A,
risk.
chocolate, B, washing machine?
Or cool beat poets of the 50s. So it's A, chocolate, or B, washing machines. What would JJ Whitehead miss more? No, it's not a that. It's a green question. What would you miss? All right. So, Michael, what do you think JJ will go for?
Well, I mean, the washing machines would be the thing you'd end up missing when you're like hitting your clothes against a board in a river. Like,
Yeah.
you initially, like the first week would be chocolate, but then, you
soon get over that.
As soon as you're, it would
As
be
soon as,
washing
as soon as you have those chocolate stains on your clothes, you're like, fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as your clothes are clean, you're like, I'd love something sweet to eat.
Okay, so Michael, you saying washing machines. Louise, what do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, hard agree. As a middle-aged woman, my reliance on both of those two things is very heavy. But if I had to choose, I'd choose the washing machine every time.
Okay. All right, JJ. They both
You've
think
never
you'd
been
miss
overweight, so far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So I reckon.
And JJ, no, understand before you answer that we live in a world where you could just send your laundry out for less than the price of several chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I didn't think that through actually.
But the laundrettes would be empty.
But I've also
low-paid woman would have to do the work with her bare hands, with her flaky hands, wouldn't she?
But you could pay her in chocolate.
Well, I have to tell you guys right now, you have to remember that you're dealing with somebody who now lives in Los Angeles and has not had the luxury of British chocolate for a long time. Because if I want to eat chocolate, I have to eat this American garbage here, and I would not miss it at all. So that is the chocolate I was thinking of. I do not miss it. Unfortunately, that's not an addendum to the category, but British chocolate, good. This stuff is crap. I would miss washing machines the most.
Okay, so a point for JJ, point for Michael, and a point for Louise, which puts Louise up into second place. Michael's still in the lead, though. Yes. All right. I'll tell you what. We'll have a couple more questions.
I want you to know, JJ, your monologue faked me out like crazy.
Oh, because of course I miss British chocolate, but yeah, I'd rather be clean.
See, I think American chocolate's better. I don't know what gross stuff we put in American chocolate, but American Twix way better than British Twix.
Oh, you're so unfortunately wrong. It's just
hey, more for me.
It is just terrible. It's all full of corn oil and shit here.
No, it's awful for you, but it's delicious in you.
Yeah, I never.
You're debating between. It's like debating between soup and cup of soup, isn't it? They've got all the same thing, but they're not.
They're not the same.
Yeah,
they're not.
Because cup of soup is way better and won both of the world wars.
Yeah, it's like the difference between English and American English.
Yes, quite.
Yeah, yeah. One's just better.
All right.
One's got more U's in it. Got loads more U's in it, so it's better. All right.
Spelled SOOP in America, isn't it?
Okay, so what we're going to do, I know JJ's just had a question, but we're going to give JJ another question now. So mixing it up. So Michael, you're going to be asking JJ a question. Would you like to be, what would you miss? Who would you choose? Which would you choose, or who is worse, please?
Let's go with who is worse. Let's see who is worse.
You don't get to pick JJ. Michael is picking it.
All right, okay.
What are the options again? Okay. What would you choose?
Which would you choose? You're going to go for a blue.
Yeah, let's go with which would you choose.
Haven't had one of them for a while. Okay.
In the game, if we were playing it around the home with the kit, do they give you the list on a card, or do you get a pack of cards?
It's a big old deck of cards. I'll just drop loads of them on the floor. They look like that. So they've got each one's got each thing on it.
They've not continued the squirrel theme at all, though, have they?
They have, because the playing pieces are squirrels.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason there are acorns, but I can't figure out why.
I'm pretty sure it's because the questions are supposed to drive you nuts. Hey, who's having fun?
Hey.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's good.
Yeah,
it is.
I like that. I haven't punched them. Just keep it going.
Are they
We're all on a roll.
I don't know which of these to pick. Okay.
So it's a which would you choose question.
Yeah.
For JJ.
Okay. Would you like to be the most famous detective in the world, or to know all the world languages.
Which would you like? Would you like to be A, the most famous detective in the world, or B, to be able to know all world languages?
I think I might have gone with a really easy one. But never mind.
I mean, yeah.
The
We
other
don't want to
options
be.
are ridiculous.
We don't want to be the detectives, though. Do we? You get a trench coat and a little hat. It'd be amazing. It'd be
Or a
amazing.
typewriter.
Yeah.
To speak to animals was one of the other options, but they're not really.
You don't think they
Imagine
have anything to
speaking
say?
animals all the
Well, no,
time.
they're just like, well, they just are.
It
This is
also
my
just
field.
makes you look crazy too, because you might be speaking to animals, and you know what you're doing, but everybody watching is
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is this guy? You want a skill
I mean,
in a board game?"
Are we speaking? I can speak to. There's a cat over there. I can tell him he's handsome right now. But can he speak to me?
Yeah,
Can he
I
tell-
think it's in a
not
sort of
just like
Doctor
to be able-
Doolittle. I think it's in a
But that's
Doctor
not speaking
Doolittle
to
type
animals.
way.
That's listening to animals.
To be able to speak to animals with, it's all it says. You're quite right.
And
You
they
can already do
understand
that.
you.
I can already
Presumably.
do that.
Mm.
This is another see into the past, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It would be really disappointing what they've got to say. You know.
Yeah, it would be. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Biscuit?
I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
Can I
And-
smell your wee?
What if he really traumatizes you?
Yeah.
He's like, "I've been watching you while you sleep.
I can't wait to eat you when you die.
I humped you for 45 minutes last night, and you didn't notice while you were sleeping."
It's
What pet have you got?
animals. It's animals, not husbands, dear.
All right.
Animals too.
Baldy has asked, who has better chat, animals or comedians?
Oh, animals, almost certainly.
Yeah, probably. Do you think that cats are like that? Or like dogs after crufts? They're like, do you see who they got winning crufts? How'd they get that?
How'd they get that here?
It's
Because it's
'cause they
dad.
were-
I tell you who his dad is, right?
Yeah.
His dad.
All right. So, what's the choice? What's the
We
choice,
are
Michael?
animals, guys. We are animals.
Well, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't choose animals, which clearly was the better one. I chose world famous detective, or or all the languages in the world.
All right,
some
so-
sort of human Tower of Babel. But, yeah, so obviously it's a
it is
toughie,
to-
isn't it?
It's to be the most famous detective in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't specify why you'd be famous.
Yeah.
It could be for being really good at being a detective,
Yeah.
or it could be you being really bad at being a detective, and that makes you the most famous.
They tend
don't
to be
know.
more famous. The real ones. The bad ones tend to be more famous than the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they
So
look
I'm
a
making
bit
this even
murderous.
worse. I'm making the bad
Yeah.
choice even worse.
All right, so Louise, what do you think JJ is going to choose there?
I did think he might plump for being able to understand, all the languages. Was it understand it or speak it?
To know all world
To
languages.
know all the languages. So just to be able to name Serbo
Yeah.
Croat and yeah.
Yes.
Whereas I think eventually you're going to go back to Edinburgh. You're going to try to sell a show. Easiest way to do that? To be the most famous detective of all time.
All right, we have a split decision. JJ, which would you choose?
Yeah, I didn't think of its relevance to my next Edinburgh show, but I did. But I feel that being the most famous detective of all time would make you a target. You'd rather keep those skills on the down low. So I went with knowing all the languages.
Wow, man.
If you knew all the languages, you'd still be a way better detective than you already are.
Yeah, and you'd be a surprise, more subtle. If you were at the back of a room and they're like, "That's the famous detective," beware of what you say around that fucker, that guy.
Not me. I'd use it to sell a show. People would be like, of course. We have to buy the show from the most famous detective.
But you could
Right,
do
you
your
know,
show
almost
in
make
every
a profit.
language. You go, is anyone in from overseas? And they go, yes, I'm from,
Yeah,
I
you
can't
only
think of a
need-
different country because I'm
Bhutan.
British.
You
But
only need,
there must be
you-
some.
You only need 5 minutes of material, but you just do it 20 different languages.
Yeah.
And they can say, "All right, good night, everybody."
See, that sounds good, but there's going to be a lot of moments when the crowd's like, he's He's doing Hindi again. Does anyone here actually speak it? I don't think there are any Indians on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. All right, we'll do last.
You can charge your phone and have a lovely snooze, and that's a valuable resource at an revenge.
Last question now, Louise. You're going to set a question for Sid. What would
Okay.
you like? Would it be a what would you miss? Which would you choose? Or a who is worse?
Oh, let's do what would you choose? Let's do something positive.
Okay, which would you choose?
And of course, this is the last question, so it's worth all the points. Am I close? Am I right?
Yeah, if you want. It doesn't matter.
Who's
What
it
do
for? Who's
points
it for? Who's
mean?
it for?
Nothing. It's for Sid.
It's for Sid.
All right, I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to send you the choices now, Louise.
Try and find no connection to breakups. That's the trick.
I don't think there are in this list.
This would be a fun game that we should just do with Sid of like 5 degrees of separation. We just give him
From your
something
separation.
obscure, and we give him.
Yeah.
He's going to connect it in 5.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So this is a which would you choose?
Okay. So, there's some big ones in here.
Filth.
It's really
That's a
ramping
filth.
up. It's ramping up.
Did I say I live with teenagers? So, oh gosh. So we've got some godlike powers here, and some.
She believes in God still.
Okay. I'm gonna choose to. Would you choose to be able to breathe underwater, or choose to be able to paint the world's most impressive painting?
Okay, so you can either breathe underwater or paint the world's most impressive painting.
Yeah.
That's the choice. A, breathe underwater. B, paint the world's most impressive painting.
Okay.
I like that it's the most impressive painting rather than like the
could be
best
shit.
painting.
Yeah.
But it's impressive.
It's impressive.
Massive.
Yeah, massive it is.
Massive.
The best part is the only way to understand why it's the most impressive is to be the world's most famous detective.
Yes. Look for the clues in the painting.
Mm.
The Sid Singh code, it will be called. So there's your choices. A, breathe underwater. B, paint the world's most impressive painting.
I did not go for to be able to bring one historical figure back to life because I knew where that was going to go.
Because of her
Hang
favorite
on.
historical figure,
She's not
John
dead.
Adams.
She's
Your
not
relationship
dead.
is not a
She's not a
historical
historical figure.
Yeah, but you know who is dead? Her father. Do you know how many points you win for just bringing him back to life? I mean, that's love,
Yeah.
baby.
That's it. Chicks dig zombie dad.
Everyone says it.
To be able, we did not choose to be able to control the weather because no, that's godlike powers, or just to be the world's best cartoonist. Those were not. I didn't choose them.
Presumably, be able to do the world's most impressive painting or cartoon. I would have thought.
Yeah.
Do you think the world's most impressive painting is a cartoon?
Garfield. Pretty sure it's Garfield.
I mean, the
In my
Leonardo
house, yeah.
cartoon is pretty impressive. There is a painting called the Leonardo cartoon. It's not a painting; it's a cartoon.
Thank you very much for bringing some highbrow nonsense into the show.
Very much. Happy to oblige.
So,
in terms of making money out of it, breathe underwater is sort of Britain's Got Talent type skill. Like, I mean,
Also,
I guess you
in
could
terms
work
of
for the government.
relationship,
hang on. If that was entertaining, we'd just watch Fish the whole time.
Yeah, maybe it'd get boring after. So a relatively short career, whereas the painting that'd be priceless. You'd make a fortune. I mean, if
Although
we're talking about
aquariums do quite
monetizing
well
these skills,
financially.
what was that?
Aquariums do quite well financially.
imagine if you could be the man in the aquarium.
But you're the exhibit in this,
Yeah,
presumably.
Yeah.
Sid.
Yeah.
Well, you ever
If
pay
you can
rent?
breathe underwater and you own an aquarium and you're not in the water, I mean, it's just a wasted opportunity.
I just listen, James. I hear you, but I just spent so much money on these fish. Like I gotta shut down.
All right. So, Michael, what do you think Sid's going for here?
Oh, well, I'm gonna go breathe underwater.
Okay, breathing underwater. JJ, what do you think Sid's going for?
I went with breathing underwater so that he can walk to Barcelona. to see her. He would fuck or sorry, he wouldn't set up an aquarium. He would go straight to Barcelona, walking under the channel.
Yeah. All right. So they both, Sid, JJ, and Michael both think you would choose to breathe underwater. Which would you choose?
It's listen, it's a great guess. However, what you don't realize, and this is real, is that my ex is a painter, and the only way I'm gonna break up is to have the way better painting that you could ever make.
You're going to win her back by
being better than
her for life.
That doesn't work.
No. See, this is me moving on.
Leave you.
This is me moving on.
I'll show her.
I'll show her.
Everything that you are is inferior to me. Come back, please.
And you have
Here's
no
a
interest
weird
in
fun
learning
fact.
to breathe underwater, which means, in terms of no.
It always did bug me that I had jokes about her, but she had no paintings about me. So I did think,
Oh well.
Are you sure some paintings weren't about you, like symbolically? What was the drawing? Were there any of sort of devils, like the 7 circles of hell?
Lots of paintings of this guy named Rodrigo for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, the really handsome guy with the six pack, yeah.
She just kept
could breathe
painting them.
underwater.
I'm pretty sure all those paintings of her ex were really about me. You know what I mean?
The thing
they
that
will be
sucks
now.
about breathing underwater too is it's a super skill that's really not shareable. You couldn't.
Yeah.
It's not like flying where you can pick up a date and take them for a flight. But if you're like, I can breathe underwater, come with me, honey, and then it's
Come
not
in
gonna
here.
work out.
Sit in the side of the lake. I'll go under the water. You stay above.
Yeah.
That'll. Right. You're right. There's nothing in it there. Nothing.
Well, it's also tricky because what if the water is too cold? You still get hypothermia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other problem is people will keep trying to rescue you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
is
time
annoying.
you've been under for more than 2 minutes, you get another do-gooding.
Michael, you're so right. They'd be
Lifeguard.
like, "Oh no, the world's most famous detective is drowning again."
Well, on that
You
note,
again.
I can reveal the final scores. That last round changed everything.
Wow, the world.
I can tell you that in equal third place,
Oh,
with 6 points each,
This is like
are
that.
JJ and Sid. So, who has won? Is it Michael? Or is it Louise? It's both of them.
Wow.
Joint first place with 9 points each. Michael and Louise, very well done to you.
High five. High five. High five.
Oh yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, that doesn't.
It's reversed.
There you go.
There we go.
You got it.
Lovely
There we go.
stuff. The prize for winning Board Game Smackdown, which you will have to share, is that you get to do the bucket speech. There are the details. Off you go, Michael and Louise.
If.
Yeah. Well, Phil, I never make any money at Edinburgh. I'm the worst person to do this when I've done those 3 shows. So, over to you.
Fine. Look, if you've enjoyed this, it would
Yeah.
be so nice if you could just stick some money in the PayPal Me bucket. Look at the link; it's at the bottom. And wouldn't you feel like a better person for giving us money?
Yes, you would. Absolutely would. PayPal.me/BoardGameSmackdown. Any donations we gratefully received. Does anyone have anything they'd like to plug?
Everybody buy Sid a coffee.
Mm.
Everybody pitch
Oh.
in. Let's cheer Sid up.
Yeah.
guys, I don't know how to tell you guys this, but her ex before me was a cryptocurrency guy, so he's doing pretty well. So if you guys could just chip in whatever currency you want, we'll beat him someday.
I've got to say, if you've got a crime that needs solving,
Yeah.
The name is
Then-
Sid Lock Holmes, and
Oh, JJ's gone again.
Yeah.
He's fallen off again. Cool.
I wouldn't mind
Well,
promoting the podcast, actually. Can I do
yes,
that?
go ahead, Louise. Yes.
It's called Early Doors, EYRELEIGH Doors, and it's on Acast and all your podcast platforms. It's really funny.
Is that with Pauline Eyre,
With Pauline Eyre, yes,
who was on this show a couple of weeks ago?
yes.
Yes. Cool.
tell her I say
Uh,
hi.
Oh, I will.
I can plug something. I have a real plug. Hey,
Go ahead, Sid.
if anyone is in Barcelona this weekend, I am doing my hour at the Comedy Clubhouse at 11 p.m. called Illegally Funny. So I know one person who won't be there, so I desperately need
We got a big following in Barcelona.
Wow.
I've got a book out. 101 board games played before you picture of a dice. That's that.
Right on.
Anyway, thank you so
I'm
much,
on
panel.
the social media stuff too. So yeah, look me
Yeah.
up. I'm on Twitch. I got a podcast and stuff. So click on whatever. Google. Look,
Yes.
you guys know how to do the thing.
Indeed. So thank you very much, panel. It's been great having you on. Hope you've enjoyed it. My name's James, and I like games. And now hopefully you do too. Until next time, ta-ra!